Joining me now from Washington, Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger of Illinois. He served in the Air Force in both Iraq and Afghanistan. Congressman, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So ISIS has made its intentions clear to strike at Western capitals, and they've done just that to horrifying effect twice now in 4 months. Of course, in Paris first, now here in Brussels. How concerned are you about the threat that might be posed to the United States?
Look, I'm very concerned. I mean, this is the kind of attack that I think is going to be the new norm. We're going to probably see this a lot in Europe. We see it all over the globe in the Middle East. Keep in mind, the main targets of these extremists are other Muslims. And so, but I fully expect that we're going to see something like this in the United States at some point. That's why we have to be, on our guard, give law enforcement the tools they need, and that's why it's essential to destroy ISIS in their safe haven where they exist, both Iraq, Syria, Libya, Afghanistan, Tunisia, all over the place. This is a generational fight, and one that if we delay in engaging on or don't engage hard enough, we're going to have to make tougher choices later.
There's a scene now at the airport that is far too familiar. I certainly saw it in Paris. We all are familiar with it as well in the gatherings that we saw in California after San Bernardino, and that is people coming together, putting down flowers, having remembrances for those who were lost and for the terror that was put upon this community right now. You have introduced a bill that is going to require the White House and future administrations to submit a report to Congress that details a strategy against ISIS. Why do you think that this is necessary? What would it accomplish?
I think it's important because, number one, the American people need brought into the fold of exactly what's happening and how we're going to destroy this terrorist group. And it's a two-way street. We also need to do an authorization of the use of military force for the president, one without restrictions, one that doesn't tie the next administration. I've introduced one of those, too. But we need to see the president talking to the American people about exactly what's being done, not just airstrikes, but how we're working with our moderate Muslim partners there, too, how we're working with indigenous forces on the ground, and using our brave special operators and folks to push this cancer back. It's a two-way street, and the American people, I think, need brought in on this conversation.
This has become a topic, as you know, in the race for president, particularly focused on the threat to the U.S. Do you, for example, support Donald Trump's proposal for a ban on Muslims traveling to America, or Ted Cruz calling for law enforcement to patrol and secure Muslim neighborhoods?
No, absolutely not. And the thing that we have to keep in mind is if we're not going to put 500,000 American troops in the Middle East, which nobody wants and nobody's calling for, we're going to have to rely on our Muslim partners. And when you say things like banning all Muslims and you demonize a billion people versus just the radical jihadists who are fighting, you lose allies in that fight. This isn't just about the tone. This isn't just about our vision as a country. This is about how do we win this war, and you win it with moderate Muslim partners.
Congressman Adam Kinzinger, good to see you again. Thank you so much for being on the program.
You bet. Take care.